Welcome to tutorial number 1 using Autodesk Inventor Professional 2013. In this tutorial I'm going to get you started on using Autodesk Inventor. When you double click the icon on the desktop, what will happen is the program starts up like this for the first time. This is just a welcome screen. It lets you do different things on it, but I tend to not like it. So what I do is down here where it says display at startup, I'm going to uncheck that and click on close. Okay. This is now the program. This is your workspace area. This eventually will be your browser. Okay, and again, nothing happens right now because you got to open up a new file or start a new file. So we're going to just go to new, and from new we're going to pick one of three things: either a part, an assembly, or a drawing. So a part is an individual piece. An assembly is where you put a whole bunch of pieces together, and eventually a drawing is where you put it out to a piece of paper or cut it with a laser engraver. So in this case we're going to do a part. Now you can see it says standard and in IN inches here. If you wanted to work in metric, you would simply come over to here, click on metric. You can see how everything changes to metric now. But I'm going to go back to English and we're going to work in inches for this tutorial. So we'll click on the standard part. I can double click and start it up, or I can click on create. Once that's done, you'll see that it opens up in the browser, and in the browser here you'll now see that there's a few things, some origins and stuff. This is the, like say, the model tree or the browser that you'll get used to, and this is your workspace now. Once again, now we have a ribbon across the top, and we have nothing in the middle yet because we have to create things. Before we get to that though, let's think about a few things. So if I accidentally was to close this off and you go, uh-oh, I just lost something, how do I get it back? Well, what we do is we go up to environments, we go up to view, and from view we go to user interface. And here you can see that there's what's called a view cube. I can click it, turn it on and off, right? The navigation bar disappears. The browser, we'll just turn that one back on, and you kind of get the idea here where you can actually turn stuff on and off. Okay, so if you ever lose something, just know that you go to view and then user interface. So we're going to go back to the 3D model tab now, and here's all our drawing tools. To get started, what we're going to do is create a 2D sketch. So we're going to click on create 2D sketch. And you're going to see now I have three planes show up. I have my top plane, I call it my right plane, and my front plane. And we're simply going to create a simple line here. So what we're going to do is go to this plane and pick this plane. And you can see it opens up now. And now this is in our drawing mode. You can see all the tools across the top have actually changed again. So we're going to start with a rectangle, and I'm going to take a rectangle and do a center rectangle. Make sure you do the center one here, and you can see the little yellow. When I snap to it, it changes to green. That means it's snapping to the origin. You can see how it goes to 0, 0, and we're just going to left mouse click and you drag out, and then you left mouse click again, and it creates a box. The one thing in Inventor is you have to get used to dimensioning everything all the time. So don't just draw something. So we're going to dimension up here. So you click dimension, you click on the line, and I just click somewhere else, and I'm going to call this one 3 inches. Okay, and then scroll out a tiny bit. The next one I'm going to do is dimension again, and this time I'm going to dimension this line. I can go from here to here, right? And I can put this one out, and I'm going to zoom in here a tiny bit. You can see I'm using the scroll button to zoom in and out. I'm going to change this one to 3 as well. So we'll just highlight all this stuff, go 3, and there's my box finished. So when I'm done drawing what I'm doing, I can click on Finish Sketch. But just before I do that, a couple things. When I use my scroll button on my mouse, it scrolls in and scrolls out. Okay, and if I accidentally disappear, what I can always do is come up here, and I can click on the Home button right here, and it comes back to me, and you can see what it comes back in as an isometric view. Okay, if I want to move around certain ways, I can hold and just drag this to which view I want to do. The other option is I can hold my mouse straight at my center scroll button straight down, and I can do what's called panning. And the last thing is if I hold the shift key down, I can actually pan around like this. I'm holding the shift key down and the center mouse scroll button. Okay, and if I ever get lost again, I just hit the home button and away back I come. Okay, I'm going to finish the sketch off just by clicking on Finish Sketch up here, and then we're back out to here now. Okay, and again I can still scroll in, scroll out, and move stuff side to side. Finally, I'm going to extrude. So I'm going to extrude this, and you can see it automatically extrudes it for me. And I'm going to change this number right here because this is going to be the base of our project. I'm going to change this number right down here, and I'm going to use 0.2. And all of a sudden now you have a thickness. Okay, we're going to click on OK. Right? And that basically is it to making a simple part in Inventor. You would then just go save it. So up on the application menu up here, you can come down to Save As or Save, and you can see that I have something in here already. So if I was to go to my useless box, you can see all the parts I've already created in here. But I'm going to call this one Base for the Useless Box. And that way I know exactly what it is. Okay, and it saves it, and there we go. And that concludes the very first tutorial.